Sports have the power to transform lives. I know because they transformed mine. My name is Brandon Steiner. As a kid growing up in Brooklyn, I used to dream about making it big as a professional athlete. Years later, I would create a sports collectibles and marketing empire based solely on the love of the game. I've done business with or met just about every sports icon around, and I've enjoyed the spoils of success. But now, I'm paying it forward with the help of some champions I've met along the way. Join me as I explore the remarkable humanitarian power of sports on The Hookup. Welcome to The Hookup with Brandon Steiner, presented by I Love New York. Well, today we're going to do something a little different. We found two phenomenal institutions very worthy of The Hookup. The first, the Police Athletic League in Yonkers, New York. Located in Westchester County, just north of the Bronx, Yonkers is well known for its steep hills and rich history. Although large and diverse, Yonkers, like other cities, has geographic areas that suffer economically. Kids in these locations need safe places to go play, exercise, and receive mentorship, and that's what the Police Athletic League is for. Located in an armory that's almost a century old, the PAL, run by police volunteers, has been serving the youth of Westchester since 1941. But in hard times, budgets get lowered and donations become rarer. And this great institution was in need of a little love, and we knew just the right people for it. We started by hooking up the walls, and they gathered everyone around. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here today. I love this place. So much potential standing in front of me. You guys have been chosen for a hookup. So not only are we going to fix this place up, and today we're going to also give you a bunch of equipment. But to do that, and the person I brought here as a surprise, somebody who's one of my favorite players, played for the Mets, played for the Yankees. He's won some World Series with both teams. So he'll express to you all kinds of lessons on the field and off the field. A good friend of mine, Darryl Strawberry. Darryl Strawberry has lived an incredible life. As a youth, he overcame all obstacles to become an elite athlete. But once Darryl reached the top, his downfall began when he became addicted to drugs and the fast life. His failures were made public for all to see, and it seemed like Darryl Strawberry was lost. But through faith and hard work, Darryl has once again overcome all obstacles and is living a happy and healthy life.
Don't worry about that. I've had 9 of these. The most important thing for you guys to really know is that you're important. You know, not just playing baseball, for you young people. And there's a great purpose for your life, and you know, hopefully one day some of you guys will make it and play Major League Baseball like I did, and have a lot of fun and play in New York City and win a lot of championships and just be a good person. You know, I think that's most important thing for young people like you. Play baseball and have fun, but just be a good person. Love your teammates. Support the cause of your teammates, because it takes more than one player to win a baseball game. It takes a team. You know, it takes a team effort to win a baseball game, and you guys are the future. You know, you are what's important. You know, these kids have a great chance to, be, great athletes. And with the help of all of us, like Brandon, like myself, and like you guys too, that are here day in and day out with them and making sure. Because there's challenges in life. You know, somebody's going to challenge you with drugs, say no. Somebody's going to challenge you with alcohol, say no. It's out there. Let's just be real. Somebody's going to challenge you with all kinds of different things. And you young people need to know how to say no. For me, that was the hardest thing to do, to say no. I wish I'd have learned that earlier, at an early age, learn how to say no for real. And a lot of things I probably could have avoided. But the choices and the decisions you make and for you guys is very important, especially with drugs and alcohol. Do not ever touch it, I'm telling you. I've been down that road. Do not ever, ever touch it. I tell my kids the same thing. Do not ever touch it. It is the wrong road to go down. All right?
Along with Darryl, Rolling Sporting Goods came through for the kids and donated some much-needed equipment, which everyone was very grateful for. So we tested out the equipment, and Darryl gave some big league advice.
Go it easy to him like this. That's it. Oh, there you go. See, that's what I'm talking about. Good job. All right, let's get a little hidden tips in. Let's get a little hidden tips. Let's work it this way. Come on. whole key to hitting is believing in yourself, not in anyone else, but believing in yourself. You have to believe in yourself as a hitter. Didn't matter who was on the mound, didn't matter what the situation was. I can win a game from the on-deck circle. That's the way I played the game. But all you gotta do is see, it's right here, I'm looking right here, and I'm going back of the ball. See that? And it just goes. Thank you.
After Darryl was done giving lessons and signing autographs, we sat down for a few minutes so I could catch up with my old friend.
You know, we are here at the PAL today. Tell me about how that made you feel, and it's a little bit about what your spirit is right now, what you're doing these days with your life.
No question about it, Brandon. Thanks for having me here. When I see young people, I thrive because I want to help them, because I made a lot of bad decisions in my life and I didn't have anyone there to really guide me. So it's embedded in me and in my heart to just reach out to them and love on them and tell them how important they are.
Darryl, I just got to tell you, you look fantastic. I mean, almost look like you could still play.
Well, I wouldn't want to do that, Brandon.
Because you could.
I probably could hit. I don't know who's going to run from me, but you know, it's great to be healthy. It's great to live a wholeness life, and you know, don't have to live in the lies of life anymore, the pits of life anymore. You know, lived in that for too long in a baseball career, and as a so-called man, I wasn't really a man. I was a boy. You've
had so many bumps in the road. I mean, you know, great playing career. You know, championships, Mets, Yankees, but also cancer. You've been in drug rehab, jail, and yet you're vibrant and I mean, helping people. Almost, I can see in you what I saw back in 1985, the same kind of energy and enthusiasm towards what you're doing now. What do you tell people out there? How do you go reset and realign yourself like you have now?
Well, I've done it all. I've lived on two ends of the spectrum, you know, of playing baseball and failing in life, failing miserable in life because I wasn't a man. I was a boy, and realized that I was a liar, I was a cheater, I was a womanizer, I was an alcoholic, I was a drug addict, I was a sinner. But I've been saved by grace, and I've been saved by grace to be able to understand that it's not my grace, it's God's grace, it's God's loving hand that He has given me the opportunity to do what I'm doing today. And it's a real platform to minister to people, to bring hope, and so they can understand that there's real restoration when you find real purpose of life. You know, I think too many of us look for stuff to fulfill our life, success, titles. I had all that, none of that worked. You know, that's just a phase of life that we go through. It's what really counts is, what am I really doing to make a difference? We can all talk about making a difference, but what are we really doing to make a difference in people's lives who are broken? Because a lot of people are broken. A lot of people come from broken homes, broken situations. We look in our society and we see that young people are angry inside, and they're, you know, the massacres, the killings, and going into theaters and churches. They come from broken. Something is broken in their family and has made them broken, and we need to be able to restore these people back, because we all need to be restored.
For somebody who's in trouble, they can look at you and relate because you can talk from experience.
Well, not only, Brandon, do you talk from experience, you talk from the heart. People need to know that your heart is real and that you're not just throwing out a bunch of fluff. You can come in here and you could be an athlete and you've been through something and you could just fluff over it and it says, you know, that's part of life, and you know, but the real thing that we have to come across to these kids that are troubled inside is we have to get them to understand that you were made for greatness, regardless of how many times you fail. Rise up, get up, don't quit, stay in the game.
You know what's amazing about, you know, here at the PAL at Yonkers is that people think everybody in Westchester is rich. They don't think there's any poor people up here, but we really saw, this place is amazing, how many kids it's servicing, and yet the work that still needs to be done.
Yes, Yonkers is a great place. It's a great place for you to be in the area to start. It says, you know what, I could be a helping hand. I could make a difference in some of these kids' lives over here. Yeah. If you have been successful and you don't have the challenges of these young people over here, you can come over and be a volunteer and really understand what it's like to help young people and just you love on them and care for them and talk to them and make them feel better about themselves.
Amazing, just a little batting cage, right? Place to throw some balls around. You know, when you're in a place where you don't have anywhere else to go, that becomes a really big place.
It does become a big place, and they do a great work over here, you know, inspiring the kids, and you have to applaud them for that, you know, because it's very challenging, and you don't really have a lot of people that probably come over here to really be a helping hand, and you know, it's about people seeing what life is really about. If God has blessed you to have an abundance, you should be able to give back, you know, to programs like this and help programs like this and help kids.
All right, we've got more kids who need help, and we've got more surprises when we return. And don't forget that you can connect with Steiner Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at my website, brandonsteiner.com, in order to nominate someone you know for a hookup. Welcome back to The Hookup with Brandon Steiner, presented by I Love New York. We've been hooking up the PAL in Yonkers with the help of slugger Darryl Strawberry. But there are many more things that the kids can learn besides baseball. The Yonkers PAL Boxing Gym is a local sports landmark. It's known for taking tough kids from tough neighborhoods and turning them into champions, but the gym had seen its better days. It was in need of a hookup. I bought the gym some new exercise equipment, hooked up the walls, gathered everyone together and introduced them to someone that knew exactly what the kids who trained here were going through.
I brought a good friend of mine who I think is one of the greatest fighters, if not the greatest of all time. Certainly a champion in every aspect, on and in the ring and out of the ring, Evander Holyfield.
Evander Holyfield truly is the real deal. The youngest of 9 children, Holyfield fought his way out of poverty to become an undisputed boxing champion. His fights are legendary, and instead of retiring somewhere, sipping some tea, Evander, guided by his faith, has made it his mission to help out wherever he can, whenever he can. He's still a champion, and he has some important lessons to teach these kids.
I'm honored to be here, but I started boxing at the age of 8 years old. I was told that I could be like Muhammad Ali, and when the man his name was Carter Morgan, and he was 6'8" years old, and I told him I was 8 years old. He said, "You won't always be 8," and I believed him because next week I was gonna be 9. So he said, "What you think?" I told him I had to ask my mama, and so I went home and asked my mama, and she said, "They gonna hit you." I started laughing because I'm the youngest of 9 in my family. I get hit all the time, you know. My mom said you can't hit them back, because I couldn't hit none of my brothers and sisters back. And so it started off back there with just a goal. My first fight, my coach showed me, said, "See that kid over there?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "When that bell ring, I want you to run out there as fast as you can, hit him in the nose." And the bell ring, I ran out there, he ran out there, I hit him right in the nose. He started crying. And the referee stopped the fight. And my coach got in there and grabbed my hand. He looked at me, he said, "You know what?" I said, He said, "You took the first step in being the heavyweight champion of the world." And so that's how it started for me. Then I turned 11 years old. And my coach asked me, was I afraid of this kid? And I looked at it, and and I said, "No, why?" He said, "I just asked." And I hit him in the nose, and he hit me back. And that's my first time ever going a complete round. My coach asked me, "What's wrong?" I said, "He hit me back." My coach said, "Welcome to boxing." And all of a sudden, I tell this man I don't like him no more. I tell him I quit. And I go home and tell my mama. And my mama tell me, "I didn't raise a quitter. You going back." Then I turned 12 years old. was the Junior Olympics. If you win this, they take you out of town. So I'm like, if I win this tournament, that'll prove that I'm not poor. Because they said poor people don't go nowhere. But boxing, if you win, you go everywhere. I went in there and for a minute had each round, we both sit there and like this. We just kept doing it. They raised my hand. I did like this, and Mr. Martin looked at me. He said, "What's wrong?" I said, "I did it." And he goes, "Yeah, you did it." I went home and told my mom, and my mama told me this. In life, everything is not going to go your way. So if you quit because it don't go your way, you'll never reach your goal. And I'm glad to be here and just tell you I'm honored to be the person that said, you know, I really appreciate the program. It's a thing where that you have to learn to listen, follow direction. Them three little things can take you where you want to go. Thank you very much.
After dropping jewels of wisdom, we gave out brand new equipment thanks to a thoughtful and generous donation from Everlast. We hooked up the walls and I sat down with Evander to discuss his thoughts.
How important is a gym like the one we're in today? I mean, it's a small little gym, but it has a pretty big impact when you think about it.
Yeah, it's very important because the fact of the matter is that, you know, it's my parents didn't read, and that little gym that I went to put me in a position that, you know, my kids, our grandkids, got a better life. I'm saying it changed the whole person. If someone said, well, Evander is one of the most popular person in the world, but it's all because of that gym. Someone gave an opportunity and someone was able to appreciate the opportunity and use it. And the same thing that you pretty much changing the world because you don't know what one person may be.
Are you out in the community helping kids, helping causes? Is that kind of a big part of what you do now?
And it is, because the fact of the matter, I realized I wouldn't be the person who I am if somebody else wouldn't have done the same thing. You know, I'm inspired by it. It helped me, and if appreciation is about going back and giving something someone gave you.
You seem like you're on a mission to make a difference.
Well, I am. I guess because when I look at it as a kid, I made a lot of mistakes, and I still made it because they didn't quit. And so, you know, the first people to quit is the people who supposed to oversee things. If they quit, then everything's shut down. And I'm just so happy that, you know, I wasn't a perfect kid, but I got the opportunity. Now, as an adult, I realize how many mistakes I made. Man, you got to keep giving the opportunity, because without opportunity, everything stopped. And so, you know, I'm happy that I've been given an opportunity to be able to help someone else.
So you love the fact that, you know, you get to a point where you have enough. You love going back old school, going back to where you came from.
Well, that's life. This country became #1. We the youngest country, and we came #1. Now we're dwindling. Why? Because we stopped doing the things we used to do. We got to put things back on, go back to the basics, and say these are the things that we did that allow us to get there. Let's go back to the basics.
Well, thank you. To get to a place like this today in Yonkers and surprise those kids, you see the looks on their faces. It was really a blessing to be with you today. Thank you. Thank you, Evander.
Thank you.
Don't move. We've got more Evander Holyfield, more Darryl Strawberry, and more incredible hookups when we return.
In here, it takes everything you got to beat your opponent. Strength. Speed. Stamina. Having no fear. Knowing nothing can beat you without a fight. But you can't fight what you can't see. African American men have the greatest risk for prostate cancer, so get checked.
Help the Prostate Cancer Foundation spread the word by sharing with your father, brother, son, or friend. Get checked. Spread the health.
Any man diagnosed with prostate cancer, look at all your options, do your research. My wife and I were both concerned about the side effects of surgery. I also looked at other forms of radiation. Due to the accuracy of the CyberKnife, the possibility of side effects are much less than other treatments. CyberKnife was clearly the best choice for me.
To find out if you're a candidate for CyberKnife, call 1-866-WINTHROP or visit winthrop.org.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Brandon Steiner. Yes, we've been hooking up the PAL in Yonkers with Darryl Strawberry and Evander Holyfield. And while I had these two greats, I had to go get a second hookup. So we found a hospital in Mineola, Long Island that was on the cutting edge of cancer treatments.
With locations in Manhattan and Long Island, Winthrop University Hospital has been serving the community for over a century and is on the front lines of the battle with cancer. We took a quick trip to see why this institution is so well regarded in the medical field, and that's where we met Dr. Haas, who introduced us to the CyberKnife. The CyberKnife is able to treat cancerous areas with pinpoint accuracy so that the surrounding organs don't have to get unneeded radiation and surgery can be avoided. This breakthrough technology cuts down on the treatment time, and often people can finish their treatments in 5 days during their lunch break. This is amazing.
It is the single most important thing, at least in the 18 years I've been here, in how I practice. It enables me to get my patients back to their families quicker. It enables me to give a more precise treatment.
This is like...
Well, that's anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to lay down. Basically, not much is going to happen. You're going to have some music on, and within a few days, 3, 4, 5 days, boom.
5 days you're done.
Right.
You can't beat that.
In a worst case scenario.
Right, well, prostate's always for 5 days, but if you have, and we've now, I was telling Darryl, we've now expanded to breast cancer. So women used to have 6 weeks daily of breast cancer treatment. Yeah. We've now developed a protocol where patients can be done in 5 days. So
this is a game changer. This is
time.
a big, big thing. But the problem is, the stereotype is stuck in people's minds, which is why guys don't want, you down there messing around with them where, they don't want to be messed around with, right?
Well, that's why we're trying to get the message out. We need to get the message out to patients and doctors that may not be exposed to this, that this, not that surgery is the wrong treatment. Many patients may want surgery, that's the right treatment, but this is an alternative, and you don't have to get cut off.
Yeah. Well, that would have been great if they would have had something like that for the time, because surgery is hard.
Yeah, not
physically
yet,
on your body.
Not yet for colon.
But I'm saying any type of cancer surgery is very difficult. If you can eliminate surgery and you can be treated in a way where
you get in your car right after.
Yeah, I mean that's a miracle in itself. And I laid up in the hospital, and I laid up there an extra 2 weeks because I got sick in the hospital after surgery.
Yeah, well, it's this hopefully will replace that in patients where it's indicated.
Yeah.
Darryl had cancer, and Evander wants to educate men about prostate cancer screening. So with the help of Dr. Haas, we decided to surprise a few prostate cancer patients who've gone through the CyberKnife treatments and congratulate them on their recovery.
Going through this, every, male friend of mine, did you ever have this PSA, colonoscopy, all this stuff that I've been going through, and said, no, I never heard of it, never thought about it, and I said, go have it done.
No regrets, very accurate, in 3 weeks compared to 3 months, 4 months of other things, and there's not even no question about it. Very happy. Actually, a couple of my friends are now calling me, unfortunately, finding the same thing. Eddie, what's this CyberKnife about?
Right.
So
get you done in 5 days as opposed to 9 weeks.
Yeah.
The other doctor that I spoke to, they wanted to do like a 45 days, and it had to be a better way. I just felt that way. I heard about this place, and I decided to come check it out, and I'm glad I did.
Prostate cancer is one of the most prevalent diseases in men in general, but even more so in African American men. We are constantly trying to get the message out that PSA screening is important. Having someone on his level promoting prostate cancer awareness, men that otherwise wouldn't get screened, and they see someone like Evander Holyfield saying, well, yeah, you really should check on this. You know, these are our fathers, our brothers, and it is one of the most curable diseases that are known to man. So, you know, if you have advocates like an Evander Holyfield coming out and saying, hey, this is something that affects men of my age, you know, you look at him, he still looks like he could win a heavyweight fight. So it's asymptomatic 99% of the time, so you need to be screened. So I think what he's doing is incredibly important.
Glad to meet you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Holyfield.
I think we got something here, don't we?
Follow your fight throughout.
Thank you. I think we have your autograph picture here for you.
Oh, man.
See the look on all our patients when they saw Evander Holyfield, they saw Darryl Strawberry. You know, honestly, for me, I'm still a sports fan. I'm like a little kid too. So it's nice to kind of pay it back to the patients, and it's nice to see people on that level pay it back to our patients, especially Darryl. I mean, it was almost for him, it seemed almost confessional.
Dealt with cancer twice.
Okay.
Myself, you know, colon cancer.
Wow.
And I lost my left kidney in my second surgery in 2000. It reoccurred in '98.
Wow.
When I was playing with the Yankees, and then it reoccurred in 2000, and I had to go back in. And, you know, we're all lucky to be survivors.
You're right.
You know, because see, we don't pay attention, especially men. We don't think anything's wrong with it. If I can't see it, can't feel it, I'm not worried about it. And you don't.
We're invincible.
Right.
It was a home run, and you know, it makes all the hard work that we put into our patients worthwhile to see the smile on their face. And I think the athletes enjoyed it as well. And Mr. Steiner, you know, what he had done for this department, you know, with the memorabilia, and you know, providing us with the introductions to these people, it was really a special day.
Congratulations to these cancer survivors, and thank you Winthrop University Hospital for saving so many lives and caring. For more information about Winthrop University Hospital or CyberKnife, call the number on your screen now. That was a really good hookup. As a matter of fact, today was a day of great hookups. And if you know of somebody that's in need of a hookup, hit me up. Let me know. And until next time, take care.